In this video, I'm going to show you how an artist can use Twitter to massively increase the amount of traffic you get to your website, even if you've only got a very small following and are very short on time. Hi everyone, I'm Mike. I paint and draw a wide range of subjects. My work has appeared in major London galleries and the national press, and while I'm based in the UK, I sell originals and prints all over the world. So today I'm going to be talking about the hashtag #BuyIntoArt marketing scheme. Now, this was invented by US artist Sharon Cummings, and basically the key advantages are it's free, it takes about 5 minutes per day, although of course you can dedicate more time if you want to. It helps other artists and it drives traffic to your website. So the video is broken down into 4 sections. First of all, how the marketing system works. Then there's a bit I've called What About Sharon? Then I'll look at the results and then talk about some conclusions and ideas for the future. So we go to Twitter, and the first thing we're going to do is search for Sharon Cummings. Okay, so there's her profile, so we click on that. And then what you want to do next is go to her pinned tweet. And then look at her hashtags, and you can see there are some general hashtags like black and white, interior designer, and so on. But then the ones we're looking for are the seasonal one, which is find art this summer at the moment, and then the more general one, which is buy into art. Okay, so what I tend to do next is I tend to search Twitter for find art this summer. But as mentioned, this is going to change with the seasons. And then having done that, having got the results up from Twitter, then I can just click on latest. And then what you do is you go down and you pick a few images that you like and you retweet those. Okay, so I'm going to retweet that one. I quite like that one as well. And you know what I tend to do, you can do this several times a day if you want to when you've got 5 minutes. But I tend to retweet a dozen or so, maybe 20, 30, it kind of depends how much time I've got. But we're trying to do a fairly concise bit of publicity here. So what we're doing is we're retweeting and helping out fellow artists who are also trying to promote their work. And obviously you can see there are quite a lot of photographers here. At the moment there aren't too many painters. Or at least relative to the number of photographers. In my experience, there tend to be far fewer painters. And you can see this just takes a few seconds. Now, I think I've read on some of the forums on Fine Art America that sometimes Twitter gets a bit upset if you overdo this. So, you know, but if you just do it in short bursts like I'm doing, couple of times a day, it's not a problem, or at least I haven't had a problem. I imagine if you start doing hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, you could run into issues. But for the purposes of this demo, let's leave that there. So what I've done is just, you know, basically just retweeted some artist and photographer works of fairly random things, but they've all got, the important thing is they've all got this hashtag find art this summer in the post. So now what I do is I go back to the items that I want to retweet. So these are images on my website, and I tend to retweet around about 3. So I happen to have my website set up so that if you click this Twitter button, it does an auto tweet. But I'm going to remove the generic message and just change this to the title, which is I've had enough. And then put a descriptive tag in, so goose drawing, bird drawing, goose, geese. And then what I'm going to do is do the find art this summer hashtag, and then the buy into art. Then put a space there, and then I'm just going to double check that I did actually get the buy into art hashtag correctly, so just bear with me a minute while I do it. That's up here. Here we go. let's just check. Sharon, let's click on the profile again. Buy into art. Yes, that's the one I want. So if I just go back to my tweet window, so I've got my descriptive tags and I tweet that one. Okay, then the next one I want to do is this one. It's a detail of a larger painting, but I quite like the little detail. So same technique. And I'll just do Frisian cattle painting, cows, cattle, Frisian cows, cow art. Again, buy into art. There it is. Let's find art this summer, isn't it? Can't remember now. Yes, find art this summer. And I'm just going to double check that one. For some reason, I'm having trouble. It is find art this summer. There we go. So back to that window. So we'll tweet that one. And then finally, this is a surreal painting, and this is the main one that I want to promote and kind of boost some visitors to. So if we go down here, you can see that so far this is a very recent upload, and I don't imagine too many people are searching for surreal badger face sheep beach painting. Yeah, could happen, but it's a new niche that I'm developing, hopefully. And you can see that because I only uploaded it on June the 9th and nobody's particularly searching for it, it's only been viewed twice. So I'm now going to tweet that one. And again, let's just call that badger face sheep. Actually, no, I'm actually going to call this one, I'm going to go in line with the title, Like Walking Through a Dream. I quite like that. Oops. Where's my Twitter window gone? So we'll put some inverted commas either side of that, like walking through a dream. Then I'm going to go sheep, surreal. Let's do surrealism, surreal art, sheep art, badger face sheep, and then again we'll do this summer. Find art this summer. Buy into art. Again, I don't know why I'm struggling with these hashtags today. I must be a bit tired. Buy into art. Find art this summer. Okay, that all looks good. Now, so I've done I promoted. I didn't count. Let's say it was 20 tweets from other artists by retweeting them, and I've also posted 3 tweets of my own. So now what I do is I go to my profile, and we can see there are the 3 tweets. But the one that I want to push or experiment with, see if I can up the visitors, that's the one I'm going to pin. So the idea is for the other artists, if they come to my profile, to look for a tweet to promote. The pinned one is the one I want to get the attention. But if for some reason they don't like that, they've got another 2 options at the top of my Twitter feed. Now, if we look at my website analytics, you can see that I don't have time at the moment to do this every single day. So I'm doing it fairly infrequently. And you can see that I was getting around about 172 visitors, 160-ish. So, high 100s, low 200s. And then I did this promotion and it jumped to 346. But at the moment, I'm back down to 140. It's the 21st today, so this day isn't complete. So I'm around about the 100 mark. So what I'll do is I'll come back tomorrow and we'll see how much just that short experiment for a few minutes has boosted my traffic. and how much it's boosted the traffic to the surreal sheep painting as well. So this is the artwork of Sharon Cummings. She's an artist based in Florida, and she's had a huge amount of success selling her artwork online over the last decade or so, I think. I think she's one of the most successful selling artists on Fine Art America, certainly independent artists. And you can see she's got nearly 11 million visitors to her website. So, that's pretty impressive alone. In terms of her style of artwork, they are incredibly vibrant, original in style, and encompass a wide range of subjects. You can see, look how striking these images are. So really cool stuff. Definitely something there for everyone. And if you click on images, you can see that she's got nearly 2,600 images. And I've uploaded just over 1,000 images to my website. And that's quite a lot of work. And obviously she's done more than double the amount that I have. So really very, very impressive kind of work output. So going back to Twitter, one of the things I forgot to do earlier was what I normally do is, having done all the latest tweets and done my retweets, I also make sure to retweet at least one or two of Sharon's as well. So let's do this one and this one, and we'll do one more for luck. Okay, so that is now my Twitter campaign done for the day. I mean, on other days I would do more than one of these. If I've got time, you can do 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. But for this little experiment, I just want to do one, and then we'll see, as mentioned, what happens 24 hours later. Okay, well, it's now 24 hours later, and you can see my notifications have gone up to 17 on Twitter. So let's take a look at those. So I've had 8 people who've retweeted my surreal tweet, and those 8 people have also liked that tweet. So thanks very much to those. I'll try and include those people in the description of this video and link to their websites as a thank you. And then in addition, Sharon and John Hughes Photographic Art have retweeted my cattle painting. They've also liked that tweet. John also liked the goose drawing. And then these might have been from the other day, actually. How long ago were these? Oh no. So Tana Solomon Art has liked an older tweet of mine and also retweeted it. So that's one of the advantages of this campaign or this marketing scheme, is people will often just look at your older tweets and retweet those, even if it was from a few weeks ago. And then I think there's just an older notification on no, she's not in there actually. So these must be older tweets as well. So Sharon and 6 others have retweeted the surreal tweet, and Sharon and 5 others have liked that tweet. And so I haven't contacted these artists before I made this video, by the way. This is just a normal day. This isn't like me asking for help to demonstrate the thing. This is just how it works. And then I've had somebody follow me and so on. So that's all really cool. So if we look at the main tweet I'm interested in, you can see it's had 15 retweets in 24 hours and 14 likes. Now, I've only got 968 followers, and typically if I put a tweet up, it does not get that many retweets. Maybe it'll get 1 or 2 if I'm lucky. So this is very effective in that way. And then Sharon's got nearly 19,000 followers. So you can see that just by her retweeting something, she shared that with 19,000 people that wouldn't normally see my work. Now, obviously, the big question is, has this had an effect on my stats? So, well, yesterday, I think I can't remember, I have to have a look. I think I was on just over 100, and that's gone up to 217 in that same day. So let's say it's gone up by roughly 100 on that day, and then I've got 109 so far today. So I think I've probably got about 200 visitors in that 24-hour period. So it's roughly doubled my visitor count. Now, if I go down to just scroll down and see what images have been visited, you can see that the surreal sheep painting has had 24 visitors. And if you remember, it was previously on 2. So that's an increase of a factor of 12, which is pretty good for just a few minutes work. Now, if we look at my stats for visitors to my website over the last 30 days, you can see there's a large spike to the far left of screen. and the peak height of that is 874 visitors on the 30th of May. So out of curiosity, I went back and looked at what I tweeted that day, and I'd actually tweeted just 21 retweets of other artists, and I hadn't tweeted any of my own work since May the 25th, so 5 days before that spike had happened. But the point is, although we just got I would say an impressive, for the amount of time dedicated, effect in the little experiment I just showed you, on occasion you do get startling results. So in this particular case, just to reiterate, no tweets of my own, but 21 tweets or retweets of other people's work. And I ended up getting 874 visitors. And then about a month before this, I actually ended up with 13,000 visitors. And again, this is just with a small amount of time spent. So this is the sort of thing that if you end up working on your computer, doing some admin or something all day, every half hour or so, you could just spend 5 minutes doing the retweets and then tweeting your own work. And, it's going to have a cumulative effect. And then my top tips are, you're going to need at least 50 of your own images to get the most out of this marketing scheme. Because if you've only created, say, 2 paintings and you've got those on your website, then the fellow artists, as well-meaning as they are, they're going to get a little bit tired of retweeting the same 2 images. So I would say at least 50, ideally. If you've got more, great. Obviously, that's much less of a problem with photography than if you're just starting out as a painter or somebody who takes a lot of time to create their artwork. So tip 2, retweet the work of others first and then tweet your own work. So that's what I did in the demo, if you remember. And the reason for this is doing it in this order means that the 3 or 4 tweets of your own work that you do at the end of each batch are going to be right at the top of your feed. So consequently, if a fellow artist comes to your profile and thinks, well, what am I going to retweet of this person? Then it just makes it super easy for them to look at your profile, and the top 3 or 4 tweets are going to be your stuff. And then they know to go ahead and retweet that. And then finally, make sure you pin a tweet of your own work. For similar reasons to point 2, it keeps a tweet of your own work right at the top of your profile. So if a fellow artist is in any doubt of which image to retweet, and they're only going to do one, hopefully they're going to pick the pinned one, and that's the one you can kind of focus on giving some attention to. So there we go, a really time efficient and effective way to direct traffic to your website, to your artist website. Thanks very much to Sharon for coming up with this idea, and thank you very much to all the artists who've retweeted some of my work over the past couple of months. It's much appreciated. If you've got any questions, then feel free to ask me in the comments below.